This is the OnePlus One.
OnePlus One.
This is like the Loch Ness Monster of phones, the Yeti of mobile devices.
Tell me why'd you have to go and drive me so crazy?
This is the OnePlus One, the only Android phone that made me care about Android devices in general. It was released in June 2014 and I immediately fell in love with it. At that time, it was very difficult to acquire though. You had to have a special invite in order to buy one, and I was begging left and right for someone to send me a code. I had no success, and then out of nowhere, I found this phone selling in a local store. I couldn't believe my eyes. Apparently, they had bought a few devices, but no one had heard about the brand yet, and people were reluctant to buy them. So, a few in stock, the OnePlus Ones were quietly sitting there, ready to be purchased. I immediately snatched one, and the enchantment happened. The unboxing experience was like nothing I've ever seen before, at least from the Android perspective. The phone had this sandstone finish that was grippy and cool. The OS was minimal, flat and clean compared to everything else on the market. It was absolutely stunning. This whole idea about OnePlus was sort of rebellious. 5 years later, that same OnePlus One is still here, still working. Briefly, here's what it's been through. I used it for about a year as my daily driver, after which I moved to use other Android phones for testing purposes. This OnePlus found itself in the hands of our office assistant, who used it extensively for 2 years as her main device. Now it still serves as a testing phone for the apps that we built at the office. You can imagine what it's been through over the last years. Yet, it still works like a champ. Hey guys, this is Z, and let's check out the OnePlus One in 2019, right before the release of the OnePlus 7. Let's start with the obvious wear and tear. After 5 years of total abuse, pockets, bags, occasional drops, and numerous hands, this device has aged with dignity. The back sandstone panel is now very soft and flat to the touch and wears the scars of life, but I think it looks quite good. Let's not forget that this is in fact a removable back that not only reveals the beautiful red battery, but it is also replaceable. So if I had a new one, I could change it real quick. No water resistance I need to worry about. Perhaps the most visible damage has been done to the front glass, which is Gorilla Glass 3. Since it lived without any protection, there are significant visible scratches. But again, nothing that compromises the functionality. The phone charges its 3100 mAh battery via micro USB because USB-C was not a thing in 2014, let alone dash charge. Surprisingly, the battery still lasts a full day and it has absolutely brutal standby time. The 5.5-inch IPS LCD panel works great in this regular 16:9 ratio. It is plenty bright for its time and it is very responsive. The fixed on-screen navigation buttons on the bottom of it are a bit dim already, and they're hard to see, but they still work. As you can guess, they're fixed in place, so you cannot choose the arrangement. This phone predates face recognition and came out around the time fingerprint sensors were a breakthrough. So the only security options here are passcodes or pattern locks. The OnePlus One is running Android 6.01 Marshmallow with Cyanogen 13.1.2. When it first came out, this phone arrived with Android KitKat with a very edgy and flat skin, which I still love and miss to this day. Due to proper optimization and software integration, the quad-core 2.5 GHz Snapdragon 801 with 3 GB of RAM is more than enough, and over 5 years later, this phone runs silky smooth and perhaps better than the Pixels of today. The entire experience is absolutely effortless. Aside from the lack of OS gestures and some of the latest Android features, the overall experience with this phone is very pleasant. Apps load decently fast and management is pretty good. The OnePlus One has a single 13-megapixel main shooter with f2.0 aperture, and this is perhaps the one component of this device that really shows the age of the phone. Cameras have become so good these days that even to the untrained eye, one can tell that this is an older device. Surprisingly, this phone is capable of 4K video recording, which honestly I don't remember being possible at the release of the OnePlus. Apparently, it was. What was also possible was out-of-the-box 64GB storage, which in 2014 was what 512GB of storage is today. All this for a price of, wait for it, $349. This was a true flagship killer at the time. What does all this say about OnePlus? The build quality of this phone shows OnePlus's determination. It was truly a device that deserves the slogan "Never Settle." I can only hope that the soon-to-be announced OnePlus 7 or its multiple variations will follow the same foundation of their first and true flagship killer. As for this very phone, I think it is finally time to turn it off and give it some rest. It deserves to be preserved and chill side by side with the best. This is E, over and out.